Welcome to the Big E Outdoor Radio Show with your hosts, Big E and Brandon of Big E TV. Found nationally on your favorite outdoor television channels. Big E Outdoor Radio challenges all the hot topics in the outdoors, from racing to hunting and even grilling in the backyard. Our mission is to educate on the facts of the impact of the outdoors on all our lives and encourage good stewardship and good fellowship among our ranks. Follow Big E Outdoors on Facebook at Big E Outdoors and Big E Outdoor Radio. Send us feedback and get in on conversations with us. Fasten your seatbelts, because this ain't your daddy's morning show. We'll be right back with Big E and Brandon in the morning on Big E Outdoor Radio. Big E Outdoors, located at Cedar Creek, is reopening its doors soon after its new remodeling. Home to the area's first and only big game hunting museum, with educational exhibits displaying animals from around the world and facts around the hunters' contributions to their survival. Pick up some unique souvenirs and gifts from the museum and from the Big E TV shows. Meet the pro staff from Big E TV and Big E Outdoor Radio. A great place to stop in with the whole family. And while you're there, book your next hunting trip with the Big E Outdoors professional hunters. With over 21 personal hunting destinations worldwide, you'll be sure to find a quality getaway with the Big E Outdoors destinations. Big E Outdoors is also home to Adrenaline Hydrographic. Check us out online at BigEOutfitters.com and register to win a free hunt. Big E Outdoors at Cedar Creek. All right, rock and roll. Welcome to Big E Outdoor Radio. Good morning. Good morning, Brandon. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing great, actually.
Well, that's good. We got lots of great things to talk about this morning. It started off really good. Let's start talking about wolves, because I know everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody enjoys talking about the wolf situation.
Yeah, it gets everybody fired up usually.
Yeah, it'd be really good if. We going good? Yeah. Hey, there was a second incident down in Coburn.
That's right, yeah. In fact, it actually helped, is it Nielsen or Nelson?
It helped that guy up. It looks like they closed the investigation on him. No charges are filed. The first guy that got attacked down there and shot and wounded one.
Yep. Hopefully fatally wounded one.
Yeah, hopefully. That's the one less we got to worry about. Hopefully he got shot, that sucker, and it ran off.
Yeah.
But, that's right, guys.
But actually this time here it was a father and son that were hunting, and they said they had one wolf pass by within 10 feet of them.
Five feet.
And then a second one came by within 5 feet of them. And they fired a shot into the air and immediately headed out of the woods. And then as they were coming out of the woods, they had another one come within about 30 yards of them, and they fired another shot into the air. So the wolves in the Coburn hunting area, the swamp out there, they're definitely...
They're definitely on the rise. So again, if you're hunting in the if you're hunting the Adams County area and the Colburn Marsh area, it's a great spot to hunt. But we're going to warn you: beware of the wolves down there, and maybe carry a sidearm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And remember the 3 S's: shoot, shovel, and shut up. Yes, because. That's the way we look at it. If you got an incident, you probably should report it, unless you actually hit it and kill it. Then I wouldn't say a dang word, but know.
Yeah.
Because
actually, you remember a few years ago we were hunting down there, and I had one. I came around a brush pile or whatever that was. I mean, it was a few years back, and there was a wolf right there.
Yeah.
Almost face to face with me at Coburn.
Yep. And sounds like it said the USDA. Or whatever it is, the Fish and Wildlife Services were putting out some traps, and if they would have caught any, they'd have euthanized them. I didn't know that. And how would have they known they even got a wolf that was a problem wolf if they had caught one? But
yeah,
so they were going to euthanize them. We can't hunt them, but they can euthanize them.
But remember that these guys are not hunters and woodsmen as much as we are. They're all a little bit different than us.
Yeah,
let's keep it at that.
Let's just leave it at that. They're the kind of guys that we set on the bubblers in high school, that's for sure.
Sure, yeah. So they did not catch anything, so they removed the traps, so the wolves are still at large. They're still a big issue. No matter where you are, they're an issue. In fact, I just seen something the other day. There was a picture taken up by Harrison, near
Okay.
Tomahawk.
Yeah.
I counted at least 9, and there could have been as many as 10 wolves, 11 wolves in one picture. A pack of 9 wolves in one picture, one trail camera picture, and it was taken this year.
There were 10 wolves in a picture of a pack of 9?
Well, there was 9 wolves.
Oh, okay.
It could have been a pack of 10 or 11. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But that's just another instance, And I guess as far as the DNR goes, if they were looking at that picture, they'd probably say, well, there's about 3 wolves in the Harrison herd, and they're looking to be about,
Yeah. That's how they count, right?
So yeah, count them, divide by 3. So they say there's 700 wolves or something like that in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think they better guess again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're about to have a lot of problems.
Or the
but
Harrison herd. I said herd. I meant pack.
Yeah,
The Harrison pack.
it's like, how many wolves in a pack? How many camels in a pack?
Yeah. Well,
Hey, they said that the wildlife guys had the traps set out and then they quit. They gave up. They pulled the traps out. I don't know how long they left them out, but it couldn't have been long because it wasn't long ago we were talking about this attack, and now this just popped up in the Wisconsin Outdoor News. So they quit. So they're like a room full of guys at an AA meeting. They're quitters. It's yeah,
wow.
yeah. Well, they
Yeah.
they gave up. Never give up.
Well, there's.
Wait, right by the way, we should have a beer this morning, don't you think?
Well, you talked me into it, so.
All right, there we go.
All right. Not like the sound of Bush Light at 7 in the morning.
There we go. Well, it's actually evening, though. You work nights.
Yeah.
It's backwards for you.
Yeah, I just got off work, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, normally, but.
Why not? There you go. So, what's your thought on the wolves, Brandon? I mean,
I think we should smoke a pack a day.
yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it.
So.
I think, I know that there's some fellas over. I was talking to Denny over at the shed shop when I was visiting with him, and over there by Anawa, and he told me he's got wolves coming right up to the back of his place right there. So
I'll tell you what, if you're one of the folks that think that these wolves are just cute and fuzzy and we shouldn't be harming them and we shouldn't be trying to get rid of them,
they take a walk through the Colburn.
I'll guarantee you will change your tune when that wolf comes into the backyard and eats Fluffy, or do you feel comfortable with your kids playing in an area like that? And you might say, oh, well, move to the suburbs. I got news for you. They're in town too. The coyotes are in town. The wolves are in town. You just probably don't see them as often. But they are there. They're wild animals, and they will go wherever they darn well please.
Yeah, and it's not going to be long, and these wolves are going to be right into the suburbs.
Yeah. Well, they need to take them off of the protected list and open up the season on them again here because it's going to get out of control before long.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's not up to the state. It's not up to our DNR.
Oh.
It's up to now a federal judge who put them on this endangered list. So,
Yeah.
So now that our DNR and our state can say, hey, it's not our problem or it's not our fault. We didn't do. But remember, they're the ones that brought them in here. They're the ones that brought them in and stocked them and thought it was a great idea. And again, it goes back to the whole thing where they just decided what was best for us without ever putting it to a vote, without ever asking. And,
How could they decide that that's what's best for us? That's what I want to know.
well, like I said, that's kind of the way it works with the DNR. They just decide and they do it. So, that's how the turkeys got here, which turned out to be, all right, that's great. We can hunt turkeys. Yeah. They put the wolves here. They've done other animals the same way. They decide that they're going to stock them here, and we just get stuck with it. So
yeah. I was reading a lot of comments and stuff on that article that I read about that Harrison Wolfpack, and there were people stating that they had land up by Phillips, and these people all in that area, from Phillips, Prentice, Tomahawk, Rhinelander, all that kind of North Woods band up there.
Yeah.
There was somebody commenting on there saying that somebody had a trail camera on a wolf den. And in one rifle season, just the rifle season, 3 years ago, it pulled 22 deer. The whole pack, they pulled 22 deer into this den.
Good Lord.
According to whoever was commenting on this, and I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to make that up. In one rifle season, 22 deer. Think about that.
Well, they said, I mean, you think about a wolf and how big it is.
Yeah.
That one wolf will eat, 20 to 25 deer in a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to think about if that's one and there's a pack of 10 wolves.
Yeah.
Do the math, and then wonder, where's our deer?
There's no wonder in it. There's no wonder in it. But I'll tell you what, though, if you're on the side of protecting these wolves, and you come across whether it's your dog or somebody else's dog that has been attacked by these wolves, it's an image you'll never get out of your head, and I guarantee you'll change your tune.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily just about they cry over them, and it's like, good Lord, come on. I mean, you gotta maintain them, or you gotta take care of them. I mean, even if you go all the way back to the early days, our settlers and everything, they had problems with these wolves. That's why they shot them and controlled them, because it's a predator animal. It's a very dangerous predator animal, and the reason that we don't want grizzly bears running around here. I mean, that's the next step. What are they going to do? Stock grizzly bears here next? Drop them off? I mean, sure, they'll live here. Yeah. And were there grizzlies here at one time? Probably. So, I mean, that makes about as much sense as stalking the wolf. What are you going to do? So let's
everything needs to be controlled. So,
right.
Eventually they are going to get out of control, but it's going to be too late. They'll give us a season, but it'll be too late. It'll be like our coyotes.
Right.
We cannot control our coyotes right now.
Yeah, it's completely out of control, and there's nothing that we can do about them anymore. So, and like I said, I mean, what'll it take? You figure, I guess maybe in 3 years, this wolf population will explode so much that if we don't get something done, I guess we're gonna have to band together and go to that federal judge and start making some noise, because we've had 2 incidents now inside of a 30-day period already, and this is a major public hunting grounds that might have to be closed because of wolves.
Yeah.
Then what? Now all them hunters got to go somewhere else, and then wolves are just going to take it over. We're just going to close down a public hunting area because the wolves are in there now. So now we're actually losing hunting land because of it.
I don't think so.
So I mean, it's just getting to be very ridiculous, I guess, is about the best word I can use for it. So we got to take a break, Brandon, and we'll come back with some more Biggie Outdoor Radio and some other great stuff to talk about, and right after this message. Hey, welcome back to Biggie Outdoor Radio, and we're just talking about some of the latest and greatest stuff that's happening here in Wisconsin. And hey, for anybody that's listening, we better remind you that you got to check the laws, and because they're changing all the time, and they like to change these things right before season.
Yeah.
That way they can sneak up on you, I think. So Wisconsin Outdoor News is a great place to be able to keep up on that. Right now, and it's not that I disagree with this law. I just want to make sure that we inform people that used to be that you could hunt in a group hunt with the youth and an adult.
Party hunting.
Yeah, party hunting. Just like we hunt, and you can use other people's tags and all that kind of stuff. Well, you can still do that, but youth has the antlerless tag with them. I guess it's whatever it is. Wisconsin's can no longer shoot antlerless deer on their youth tag when they're group hunting in the buck-only units. It used to be that you could do that because the youth can shoot an antlerless deer wherever.
You know what I like is they actually, for the picture they took on this article, is actually a nubbin buck.
Right. Which is not what we want them to be shooting anyway. But
we don't want to encourage that, but it is an antlerless.
But the thing is that the tag is designed for the youth anyway. It's designed to get the youth hunting and allow them to shoot.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it says last year in the buck-only units, nearly 7,000 antlerless deer were shot legally. They were legally taken. But many of them were indeed shot by younger hunters, as they were intended. But it's, like I said, this is intended to encourage the kids to get out and get involved in hunting. So a number of them were shot by adults under the group hunting laws, which is legal, but they don't want that to happen anymore. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's a good law, but it's good that everybody knows about it because they don't want to have somebody going out there and seeing you. And,
awfully short notice. Here we are inside of a week now before hunting season. So
Right.
Yep.
So Governor Walker signed that law, and so make sure that you're aware of that. He signed it on
Wednesday.
It's on a Wednesday, and it was released on Friday the 13th. So they're trying to get the word out before a gun season. 7-8 days they got to get it out. So, like I said, just make sure that you know your laws because we don't want anybody getting pinched. Not a good thing.
That's right.
Don't need anybody getting tickets out there. What other? Did you know of any other laws that changed this year, Brandon, that people have to be aware of? Well, they got the blaze pink. They can wear that.
Is that passed? Is it?
I think it did. Yeah,
Okay.
I think they can do the blaze pink this year. So
There you go. You'll look good hunting this year, huh?
Yeah, great. I can wear my pink jacket. What do you think of that?
Well, you want to know what I think about it?
Hey, well, it might get more women and even young girls. They might think that that's cool, and they might get into hunting or whatever. I don't know if that's really going to make people want to hunt or bring more hunters, but it makes it more fashionable.
Boy, just the fact that you said that. I mean,
Is that fashionable?
make hunting fashionable. It's hunting, man. I mean, rub some mud on your face, roll around in the dirt a little bit, crawl under a pine bough and wait for a deer to walk by. Nothing fashionable about it. You're a woodsman.
Well, yeah, but what about a woods woman?
Well, then be a woods woman. She can crawl under a pine bough with you. Hey, hey. And that's how young hunters are made.
Okay, well, I got nothing to say about that. What about your wife? She likes a little bit of pink in her clothing and things like that. Makes her feel,
Yeah.
So what? You didn't tell her that she can't wear blaze pink.
I'm not saying she can't. I'm just saying the fact that you mentioned the whole making hunting more fashionable. Not that that isn't cool. The way things are nowadays, everybody wants everything to be fashionable, but I just kind of saw it as a goofy term.
Goofy term, well, especially when you're talking about hunting. You mean?
Well, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, we talked last year about the whole back tag tradition, and
Last week, actually, we talked about it.
was it? Yeah, last week. Okay.
Yeah. We got Ricky over here trying to sneak into the studio on us.
I don't know what he looks like a reaper with a rifle there. And then
He's got a black sheet over his head, and he's carrying a 10-22.
yeah, he's a scary looking fella there. Well, you never know what you're going to run into when you come down to the Biggie Outdoors Museum down here. Some of our employees actually belong in a museum, I think.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think we're probably right along with them.
yeah. Hey, you got your deer stand ready yet?
Actually, yeah, I just got 4 brand new tires, tinted my windows, heater checks out good. Satellite radio, I renewed on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I suppose, you gotta know, you gotta make sure you are comfortable while you're out there, and you gotta stay warm. Hey, what a warm year. Talk about a difference compared to last year and the year before. Was it about 2 years ago, it was like, 0 degrees? We had guys up here from Alabama freezing their hind ends off.
Yeah, 2 years ago when it was like 20 below zero during deer season.
Yeah.
The week before, it was actually probably about weather like this, like it is right now, ain't it?
I don't know if it was or not.
I can't remember. I don't know. I just know it was wicked cold, and I actually did sit in my truck. We were guiding some guys, and I stayed right where it was warm in the truck. That way, if somebody called me and needed assistance, I would just go to them. So
yeah, it's
I turned the heater on and took a nap. Is what I did.
It's unseasonably warm right now. I was up in Rhinelander on Tuesday meeting with the guys from Trigg Smokehouse Brats. I'm going to tell you what, you want to talk about an interesting deal, Trigg Smokehouse, unreal. What they've all done and where they've come, and they're going to give, I'm not even going to name other brat companies, but they're going to give these other brat companies a run for their money. I'm telling you, they got great brats, lots of flavors and things like that. But anyhow, when I was up there talking to them, we were commenting that last year, on the day that I was up there, they got 18 inches of snow.
Huh.
And look at the weather now.
Yep.
Beautiful out.
You're right.
Yeah. So, it was kind of
I forgot about that.
yeah. And now we're in the beautiful weather, and I can handle it if it stayed like this. It's okay with me.
If it's going to be cold, there might as well be snow on the ground.
It's not that cold though. It's not that cold. Do you think?
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's not that bad. I mean, I can handle this. It isn't ice cold.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't like it to be 80 degrees. I'm good for like a 60 to 70 degree overcast, probably about 5 out of the 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want to live on the beach somewhere where the sun is beating on me, and
How many people do you know that actually nowadays are actually leaving the state of Wisconsin? Maybe not the same week, but in the weeks before and the week after, and going to other states to hunt because there's nothing here to hunt anymore. Guys.
Actually, we've talked to quite a few people, especially in the last week or two, that do this. Mm-hmm. And I know we have been talking about it for the last few years.
Yeah. You've got Illinois.
Yeah.
And Illinois has, some excellent opportunities for hunters. And, of course, a lot of Illinois is, I don't know, is it all of Illinois you can't use a rifle, or is it just parts of it?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't say on that. I don't know, but I do know where I would like to go during our rifle season. I'd like to go out to Montana, Idaho area. Go out to some of our outfitters out there. Go see some of them guys.
Yeah, well, South Dakota, they got some good deer hunting
opportunities. South Dakota, absolutely. Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah. Well, in Illinois, if you're looking for something else to hunt, they've always got them flying fish down there. You go down there and hunt them big carp.
Oh, yeah, them carp on the river.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Those things they say they're getting closer and closer to Lake Michigan, and they don't know what they can do about them. And I wonder if they let you shoot them with a shotgun.
Why not? You can shoot them with a bow.
Yeah.
You just can't use lead. Steel shot.
Steel shot?
Yeah.
Salt. That way when you ate them, they'd already be seasoned. I wonder if they taste good. Does anybody eat them things? Them flying carp? Or what do they do with them when they kill them? I don't know.
I do know some people that actually give them to farmers and they spread them on their field.
Oh, that could be, because they're getting to be out of control, and I don't know how in the world. But
I work with some people that I think eat some carp. I believe I was talking to a couple of guys over there that eat carp, and I wouldn't do it.
I know. Well, I'm just talking about these Asian carp, or whatever the heck they call. I am thinking about the only way that they're going to be able to get rid of them is to poison the river. It sounds bad.
Yeah, but that'll never happen.
It's going to kill everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, otherwise, how else are you going to get rid of them? You can't. There's no way you could fish all them things out now. But they eat everything. They eat the eggs of the other fish. That's the problem. You might as well poison the river, because these things are
killing everything else off.
Yeah. Here. Well, let's take a break quick, Brandon, and we'll come back and have a little bit more Biggie Outdoor Radio right after this. This segment of Biggie Outdoors is brought to you by Snap Fitness of Wausau. It's time to get in shape, and Snap Fitness is the right place to do it. With 2 locations in Weston and Wausau, you're never far from a Snap Fitness. Open 24/7 for members with clean and well-maintained equipment. Check out their new location across from Fleet Farm on Wausau's north side with all new machines and equipment. Sign up for some classes or training. Pick up the supplements you need and take advantage of the monthly deals and sign-up specials they have going on now. The staff at Snap Fitness is waiting for you to assist you in any way they can. So head on down to Snap Fitness today and get signed up. Hey, welcome back. We're back with some more Biggie Outdoor Radio. Hey, Brandon, I don't know if you've seen it, but I was looking at Facebook, social media, and it's been kind of circulating. Did you see that video of that guy who was that photographer? I don't know where the heck he was, but he was somewhere, like I think out in Kentucky or Virginia or North Carolina, somewhere up in the mountains, and he was taking pictures of that elk, and it came up to him and started butting his head. And
I actually haven't. I've seen that I was tagged in one on Facebook, but I did not get a chance to watch it.
Yeah, this guy, he goes out and he was taking pictures of it, and then, I don't think, some of these people just don't seem to get it, how dangerous these animals can be, and they think it's kind of funny. Yeah. And he's sitting there taking pictures, and
it's a spike too.
It's only a spiker, but actually a spiker, he's got a couple of swords on his head.
Yeah.
And
we know how dangerous they can be. We used to raise them.
Yeah.
And them spikes, they get rambunctious.
Yep. And the guy is sitting there, and this thing comes up and starts, pushing on him, and there's a couple of times it even takes its feet and kind of stomps at him. And he does this for a long time, and there's a guy filming it, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's kind of spooky, isn't it?" And they're doing this for a long time, and he's trying to take pictures of it. And, I think the camera guy thought it was a game for a while. And like I said, this goes on and on and on. And after a while...
It starts out as, he's doing what he does with other elk his age. They spar and they play and, whatever. And then eventually they try to see who can take it the farthest. Yeah.
And it got to the point where when the guy tried to get up and even get away... and get to his, somebody came with a car to pick him up, and he tried to get away. The elk, you know how it is. You can't turn your back on him.
Yeah.
And
it's in the Great Smoky Mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal. And this thing just keeps coming after him. We're there's 2 minutes. It's been going on here. So 7 minutes total.
And you can see it. The sparring is actually getting more and more aggressive now. Yeah. He's really wanting to get into it.
Yeah, he's stomping at the guy now.
Yeah.
And if this thing would have really come after him, this guy has no idea how bad this could have been. There's people sitting here taking pictures of it.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Instead of going up and helping the guy. He's kind of just shielding himself right now to try to keep himself from getting, more, more hurt. I don't know, or more.
I actually wish that our listeners could see what we're talking about here as we're watching it. Is this, this guy could have easily gotten stabbed because it doesn't take much force for one of them elk to put one of them tines through him. I'm surprised that the guy didn't get hurt.
Yeah, he's grabbing the horns, to try to protect himself. That elk tried to get him in a couple of these spots. You can see it. It comes right there. It's stomping at him. It's trying to get him. And he's grabbing the horns and pushing him back, and if he wasn't paying attention and watching out for them horns, this thing is going to stab him. And there's people that are just sitting there watching this thing. And like I said,
I think more of the people that seen this, I think a lot of people thought he was just that the elk was trying to play with him, but it's not. Yeah. It's a sign of dominance and
aggression.
They normally do it. They normally do it amongst their age groups because we've seen it on the farm. They would do it amongst their age groups. A spiked bull wouldn't normally go up and fight with a bigger bull. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because I'm sure it does. Yeah. But this is.
even after 5-6 minutes of this, and the guy gets in a vehicle, and somebody actually, the bull actually will come up and grabs his camera gear and starts dragging it away. So, like I said, I was watching that on Facebook, and what I guess the message I'm trying to get out to people is that these wild animals can be dangerous, and when you get one that's coming too close to you, whether it's an elk, whether it's
a wolf,
whether it's a deer, it doesn't really matter because. It's
like them wolves in the Colburn Swamp. Them wolves are getting comfortable with people, and that is dangerous because they're getting more and more comfortable.
Right.
They get closer and closer every time, and you know what? Yeah. Pretty soon they're going to grab somebody, and then what?
Wild animals are not pets, and so when you get one that when they get one that starts coming close to you and chumming up to you, there's something wrong with that animal. I guess that bull elk just kind of something was definitely wrong with that picture. So
Well, I mean, think about it too. I mean, he was an adolescent bull. He was a spiker. He hasn't really been pressured or hunted yet. If he was in the right areas, he probably didn't feel any danger. He didn't feel any threat.
Yep.
And it looks to me like every time the guy put up his camera to try and take a picture, they all got more aggressive.
Yeah, definitely.
So he probably saw that as some kind of a weapon or some way that the guy was probably trying to spar with him. I don't know. You never know what these animals are thinking, and that's the important thing. People always think it's fun and games, but I'll tell you what.
Yeah. It's fun and games until somebody gets hurt.
That's right, exactly.
Pretty much,
Exactly.
that's the way it is. So anyway, I mean, be careful while you're out there hunting. And we got that upcoming deer season now. It's coming up, and we want to encourage everybody to be safe out there.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear about tragedies in the woods, like we talked about. Was it last week? We talked about the safety rules and things like that. We talked about know your target and beyond, know your gun.
Yeah.
Make sure that you identify your target, all that good stuff,
And it was good that we talked the majority of our show about that last week.
Right.
And that was good timing for it. I mean, yeah, people know how to hunt and they know the safety stuff. Most of it is common sense for people.
Yeah, but it's good to be reminded.
It is great to be reminded, yeah, especially, I mean, it's right around the corner, and honestly, it's probably on the back of people's minds more than, the immediate thought when they're coming into hunting season. They're thinking about everything else, and you got to think about the safety just as much, because that's how you get hurt. That's how accidents happen.
Well, like I said, there's so many people that don't have a good conception of what actually can happen with bullets. I mean, they take hunter safety, they do all that kind of stuff, but they really don't ever see the danger of what can actually happen. Like I said, we talked about how far can a bullet go. Mm-hmm. And you watch TV, and I watch a lot of the Criminal Minds and all these movies and stuff on TV, and it's almost ridiculous because they show all this stuff. Guys get in shootouts, they hide behind tables and they drop down behind couches. And
yeah.
And I think that what happens is people get complacent with thinking that they can do these kind of things.
No.
And they think that I'm going to shoot at that buck over there, and I don't. There's a subdivision behind there, but I'm kind of shooting, and that bullet's not going to end up over there. Like, let me tell you, a bullet can go through your deer and into a subdivision and through a house yet. I mean,
yeah.
The only way really to see it is to go out there and do some experimenting. I mean, go to a junkyard and shoot a car. Shoot a car in a junkyard or something. And you'll see that a bullet can travel. Shoot it low so that you're doing the seat, because you'll actually see the bullet go through the doors, through the seat, and out the other door and keep on going.
I mean, don't literally drive down to your local junkyard and shoot at a car, because you might get arrested.
Yeah, you probably want to check with the guy that owns the junkyard first.
We don't want to be liable for that.
Yeah, but I mean, you find something like that. I mean, I almost think that they probably should, in a hunter safety environment, they should take a car, put it at the firing range, put it in front of a backstop, and show kids what a bullet will do. Because, like I said, I don't think that a lot of these kids realize, what they're holding on to in their hand. Mm-hmm. And they think, oh, well, I got a small gun, I got a .243, I got whatever. Hey, let me tell you what, those small rounds will do just as much damage.
They will, yeah.
And a lot of guys are giving their kids, now they say, well, I'm just going to get him a .223. It's something that he can handle. Well, I got news for you. A .223 is what the military uses, and they use it for a reason.
Yeah.
It's a very lethal round. So, be safe out there. Teach your kids the beyond thing.
Any round is a lethal round. Even birdshot is lethal if you're not careful with it.
Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous, but it can happen.
Yeah, and I guess any hunting accident is a hunting tragedy. It doesn't matter. I mean, you go online and it even says, hunting tragedies show a need for refreshers. it's in, every state is thinking about it.
Yeah,
And
you're never too good of a hunter or too good of a sportsman or outdoorsman to take a refresher course.
no,
There's always something that you can be learning, refreshed on, something you might have even forgotten. You can overlook the smallest things sometimes.
yeah. They say that statistically speaking, hunting is near the top of the list. Believe it or not, near the top of the list as one of the safest recreational sports. Even though we're using guns, and even though there are people that are injured doing it, it's still one of the safest activities, and it comes up there in the top spots. It's not number one. Number one is camping, but it comes in there between billiards and bowling. So figure that out. Well, welcome back to Biggie Outdoor Radio, and we're always trying to keep you up to speed on the latest and greatest. And right now, we're trying to actually get a hold of one of our good friends over in South Africa here. We'll see if he answers the phone, and maybe we'll catch up on what's happening in South Africa right now.
I mean, there's definitely plenty going on over there. This has been a pretty big year in South Africa, definitely a controversial year. There's a lot going on over there, especially, you go from Cecil the lion to,
Person you're trying to call is not available right
well, I guess Wayne didn't answer. But,
you
you go from that Cecil incident all the way, to in the same park, the same area where now they're slaughtering all these elephants because the rangers are on strike or contesting their pay. And I don't know, I haven't had a chance to read up on it yet this week to see if it has escalated anymore or if they've gotten it under control or what's going on it. But I guess that's something, something to follow up on because it affects us too.
Yeah, you're right, Brandon. I mean, there's always something going on. They're talking about, even the pHs they call it hunting dangerous game for a reason, like it says here. But there's fatalities for the hunters that go on over there. There's fatalities with the pHs. Where hunting parties jumped over a stream and his gun went off and shot him.
Yeah.
And I guess the pH is the one that got shot. The 500 nitro went off and hit the pH in the elbow. There's a shooting in Mozambique, where they were hunting Cape buffalo, and they were following, and it was not even a wounded Cape buffalo they were following. And charged them in thick brush, and the guy I guess was trying to walk backwards, and he tripped and fell. And at some point, the trigger went off, and he shot the pH in the back with a .458. Bullet passed through without doing much damage because he was shooting solids, but still, the pH suffered a broken collarbone, and he'll be all right. But I mean, a lot of accidents, and those accidents can happen even over here. You got to think about it. It can happen. Guy can be making a deer drive, and whatever. And then think of the medical bills that follow getting shot and things like that. So gun safety, keep your weapon on safe till you're ready to shoot. Keep your finger off the trigger. Both of these incidents here, obviously the weapons were not on safety.
Yeah. I mean, if you're crossing a stream or crossing a fence, it sounds silly sometimes to a seasoned hunter, but you know what? If you unload it or hand it off to somebody who's with you, it can save an accident from happening.
Yep. I mean, that's right in your hunter safety handbook. Unload your weapon before you cross a fence or a stream, and then hand it off. Like you said, had that been done, boom, accident avoided. Every kid that's ever sat through hunter safety class knows it, and too many of us that have been hunting for so long, we take that stuff for granted. Mm-hmm. Second case Hunter, probably he didn't really point his gun at anybody, but trigger, safety, he had his finger on the trigger, likely, and also the weapon was probably on fire. And, those are things that they teach you. They teach you that stuff. And, yeah, sure, he was scared. There's a big bull charging him, We know of some other incidents over there where people get shot, jumping in front of the weapon. PHs have jumped in front of the gun to try to shoot, an animal that's charging, and then the hunter shoots him, and it's because he's not thinking, not watching what's in front of him.
In the heat of the moment, that stuff happens. You got to be thinking at all times.
Yeah.
Not saying that accidents aren't going to happen, and they could happen to anybody. They could happen to us. But good practice definitely can limit some of these accidents, these tragedies.
Yep.
In that first incident, that PH lost his right arm.
Yeah. Yeah, because you get hit in the elbow with a 500 nitro. You're pretty much done. But and I want to tell you what, it didn't have to be a 500 nitro. You get hit in the arm. If you get hit in your elbow with any deer rifle,
you're going to lose it.
You're likely going to lose your arm.
Yeah.
Or the use of it. And so these are things that, if you go over the safety with your kids,
yeah,
before you go out, you're actually giving yourself a refresher course.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just say, hey, you know what? Before we go hunting this year, how about if we review safety?
Yeah. Don't shoot at random movement in the brush. Don't shoot at a noise in the brush. You always want to make sure that you know what you're pulling the trigger on.
That's right.
And don't put it on fire until you're going to pull the trigger.
And keep your finger out of the trigger guard, and keep your weapon on safe, and all these things. Unload it when you're getting in and out of the stand. God, I just think of all these things that we take for granted too.
Oh, absolutely.
Seasoned hunters. We do it.
And some people, they think that split second of, if they have it on fire and they're ready to shoot, that could be the difference between getting an animal and not getting an animal. But I'd rather not get an animal. I'd rather something got away from me.
Right.
Than to have somebody get hurt.
Right. But if you know your firearm well,
yeah,
becomes second nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I just I feel bad whenever I hear of a hunting accident. And they all could, I was going to say, whenever you hear of a hunting accident that could have been avoided, but actually all of these hunting accidents could have been avoided.
Yeah.
Simply by following firearm safety.
Yep.
So.
You're never too old for a refresher. You're never too experienced for a refresher. Just keep that in mind. When you hit the woods next week.
Yeah. Keep it in mind.
Keep it in mind. Think about it.
I think there's a lot of places you can go and you can pick up the the 5 major firearms rules, the safety rules.
Yeah.
And even if you're hunting with a group of adults, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, take some of them and set them in the cabin. And it's not a bad idea for guys, especially older group of guys.
You throw some of them pamphlets down at the cabin when you're at hunting camp or something like that. Even on downtime, it might get picked up. It might be bound to get read. The chance is better if it's there than if it's not.
Even if guys pick them up and they make jokes out of them and tease and stuff like that, at least they're looking at them.
That's right.
Yeah. What have you got to lose?
Yeah. You'll remember a good joke.
Yeah, that's right. And so,
even though it's not a joke, I'm not saying it is, but
no. And then talk about things that you've heard. And if you're looking for a specific incident, hey, pick it up and pop online, and you'll figure something out real fast. Just type it in online, look for some shooting accidents, and show some people stuff like that. And after they look at it a little bit, they're gonna they're gonna think about it. Because nobody wants to become a statistic, losing an arm, all that kind of stuff, So, one good thing, there's no night hunting anymore. They stopped that. They
did stop. Well, it's going to it's going in front of a federal judge, I believe?
Yeah, it's going to go back
December
to the judge.
12th, I think, was the date on that. So.
Right. And
I'm glad they're giving it another look. I hope that they don't come back and allow it. I'm definitely glad they're taking another look at it. And
Yep.
and making it illegal for the time being.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Even though we were saying before the break how safe hunting is, it rates up there, in some of the top sports. Still, childhood gun and shooting accidents are quite common, and they are actually one of the top 10 leading causes of accidental death for the childhood age groups outside of newborns and infants. So,
yeah. And hunting don't even have to be involved. That's as simple as, are your firearms and your ammunition and all that locked up? Are they locked up in a separate place from each other? Don't lock them up loaded. They sound like crazy, ridiculous things that nobody would do, but it happens.
Yeah.
And I know plenty of good old boys that like to keep a loaded one behind their front door just in case. But you got to be careful. If there's kids around, pick them up when the kids come over.
yeah, I mean, you hear about it. I mean, what is it here back in 2000 and 2007, I think it was, in Georgia. 14-year-old in Georgia unintentionally shot another 14-year-old in the chest while they were hunting squirrels, and they both had completed the hunter education class. They were out. Kids get excited when they're shooting and they're hunting, and these are hunting accidents, but hunting accidents aren't the only reason that kids have accidents. They have accidents in the house, showing off their dad's gun, showing off the pistols that dad has, things like that. So, there's a lot of different ways. So definitely share the safety tips with your kids. Tell them don't mess with the guns. And so I guess we're going to take a quick break, and we will come back with some more Biggie Outdoor Radio right at the top of the hour. And stay tuned.